Hey guys, this is Pavan from Suplex City TV.
Okay, as you guys saw in our topic, today we're going to talk about Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is the champion right now. He's holding both the Universal Championship and the WWE title. That's your Raw and Smackdown title on one guy. And this is not just one guy holding the belt. This one guy has been holding this belt for almost more than 2 years. Let's not forget, Roman Reigns won this belt by beating Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt in a triple threat match in SummerSlam. When he got this belt, he defended this belt against his brother Jey Uso. He's beaten his brother Jey Uso and later involved his brother Jey Uso and his brother Jimmy Uso to form the Bloodline. Over the years, he has added Sami Zayn to his bloodline and he's added his cousin Sikoa. Now these guys are dominating WWE right now. Not only is Roman Reigns holding both the titles, it's his brothers Jimmy and Jey Usos are holding the undisputed tag team titles as well. They have the Raw tag team titles and the Smackdown titles. They're dominating WWE. Has there ever been a faction which has held all these titles for so long? And it begs the question, who's going to dethrone them? I mean, if you even beat Reigns, you got the Bloodline right there to cheat and get the titles back. He's not even lost on a pay-per-view. He's beaten everybody. And this weekend, they're going to be competing in a non-title bout in War Games type match and the Survivor Series pay-per-view. I mean, that's his reigns just continuing to extend. And yes, they are fighting the brutes. They are fighting Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Sheamus. They're all in one team against the Bloodline. But let's be frank, they most likely the Bloodline are going to win, and he's not going to lose his belts. It's going to continue. His reign is going to continue. So now what? Who's going to dethrone? Let's go over first the list of who Roman Reigns has beaten. And let's not forget, besides the Bloodline, he's got the wise man on his side. The wise man known as Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, who used to represent Brock Lesnar, went on his most dominant title reign, which has been spanning for 7 to 8 years. It's unreal. Anyways, let's get to who all he's beaten. Roman Reigns beaten, as we know, Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman to get the belts. He beat Jey Uso. He beat Edge and Daniel Bryan in WrestleMania. Remember where he said beat him and stack him, and he pinned both of them on top of each other. Then later on, John Cena came back to face Roman Reigns at SummerSlam from Hollywood. He beat him. He then met Brock Lesnar, who made his appearance at the end of SummerSlam's event. And they accumulated, I think, 3 matches where Brock Lesnar lost all 3 matches, unheard of, to Roman Reigns. They even had that interesting match where we were thinking whether Paul would go back to Brock, whether he'd stay with Roman Reigns. And end of the day, he chose the dominant, the big guy, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. And then after that, you had these minor bouts with Shinsuke Nakamura. You had Big E. You had that match with Goldberg where he choked him out. Drew McIntyre at Cardiff where he beat him. And Finn Balor, you remember the Demon? And he's just beaten everybody. Then you had at Crown Jewel Logan Paul, the YouTuber. He beat him as well. I mean, you're running out of names. Where are we going to get somebody to beat this guy? So yeah, we've compiled a list and possible scenarios so that we can have a fantasy scenarios on what could take place in WWE, so that we can know when this reign will end, because it will end, and we want it to end in a proper way. We want it to mean something, because the Bloodline is really making history as we speak. So anyways, without a further ado, here's our list of people we think can potentially dethrone Roman Reigns. We can't give all the scenarios of everybody in this one podcast. It'd be too long. But yes, we at least talk about 3 possible scenarios with 3 possible number 1 contenders. Okay, our list starts with Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, The Rock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Okay, so as we were going on about the people who we feel can dethrone Roman Reigns, we're going to start with Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes is a second generation superstar. He comes from a wrestling family.
Dusty Rhodes' son and Dustin Rhodes' brother. Cody Rhodes left WWE for AEW, where he genuinely became an all elite, and he was a big draw there. He later rejoined WWE, and he's had a hat trick of matches against Seth Rollins, and he has beaten Rollins in all 3 matches. Right now, he's currently sidelined with an injury, quite bad pectoral injury, I believe, and it's going to take him into the new year before he can. There's no timeline given on when he will return, but what we feel is that he would probably return, and he could be involved in the Royal Rumble, and that win on the Royal Rumble could set him up against a feud with Roman Reigns accumulating at WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes could do this in a different way, since there's so many members of the Bloodline. We feel he could beat all the remaining members of the Bloodlines on separate feuds. I definitely do feel that at some point Sami Zayn's going to be involved in the fall of the Bloodline. They already teased it starting this week on Smackdown. Kevin Owens getting into Sami Zayn's head that don't trust the Bloodline, and they had Jey Uso standing right behind the door overhearing this entire conversation. Later on, when he confronted Sami Zayn lied to him on his face and said, "No, nobody today." So there goes. I feel that definitely Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens would probably team up, forming a tag team and dethroning the Usos, and eventually adding to the fall of the Bloodline. We definitely see Cody Rhodes feuding with at least some member of the Bloodline when he comes back, and definitely in the future you will see Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. But is he going to be the man to dethrone Roman Reigns? I think so, because he has the legacy of Dusty Rhodes behind him, and he has joined WWE with quite a lot of fanfare. And for someone to defeat Seth Rollins in a hat trick of matches, 3 matches Seth Rollins has lost against Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins is an A-list competitor. I mean, let that register. So according to me, my number 1 pick for Roman Reigns to lose the belt would be to Cody Rhodes, and when at WrestleMania, if he can return from his injury. That's my first pick. My second pick is Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens last WrestleMania had the biggest feud of the entire WWE, as he feuded with the returning WWE legend Stone Cold Steve Austin after a 20-year hiatus, and they fought at WrestleMania. Kevin Owens lost, but it just tells you what a big deal Kevin Owens is. He, with Stone Cold's blessing, is still using the Stone Cold Stunner as his finisher. Recently on Smackdown, you can see the ovation. You can see his body language. You can see his demeanor. It is all looking like he is about to make the final jump to that mainstream superstar. And I think Kevin Owens might just be the guy to beat Reigns. He could start dishing out stunners, and he could become Stone Cold Steve Owens, according to how I see him. He is really on, with his dynamic chemistry with Sami Zayn, it could be a tremendous angle, and it could be much watched TV, because Sami Zayn right now is operating at a very high level. He is literally the most must-see character on WWE TV right now on Smackdown. His whole Uzi phase, where she came up with that, has just made the crowd fall in love with it. So I see this Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn scenario play out in the downfall of the Bloodline, and eventually Roman Reigns losing the belt. So hey, why not give Kevin Owens a shot? And I do see him, like, if you even put him on the Royal Rumbles, stunners around, winning the Royal Rumble, and yes, why not? He could do it. So yeah, that's my second pick, Kevin Owens. And my third pick pick is Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley has been nothing short of excellence since he has come back to WWE. His feud with Goldberg was awesome. He lost his final cumulative match from Goldberg, but what a fight. He even recently lost to Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel, but he severely beat up Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar has never sold for anybody the way he's been selling Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley has had feuds with Seth Rollins. He's fighting with Seth Rollins in a triple threat match with Austin Theory for the US title. But I feel Bobby Lashley, if he can get the Hurt Business together, they can feud with the Bloodline. He has MVP on his side. Roman Reigns has Paul Heyman on his side. If he can get the Hurt Business on his side, they can feud with Roman Reigns' Bloodline. So I think this could turn into a very interesting TV. It could be must-watch TV, and it could accumulate in a. I don't see Roman Reigns losing his title at any ordinary pay-per-view like Backlash. I think it's going to be one of the big four. He's either going to lose it at WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, or the Royal Rumble. So yeah, these are my 3 picks for now, and we will continue in our next episode on the remaining people we think can dethrone Roman Reigns. I hope you have enjoyed this segment. Please click a like and subscribe so that you can watch more content like this. Thank you. God bless.